that show up and show up in such a way that folks who are voting against their own best interest, that they are saved as well.
Who are you to tell me what's in my best interest? This is the arrogance. This is what we're seeing. You hear the Democratic messaging after the election, and they keep saying that people are voting against their interest. Black men are voting against their interest. Latinos are voting against their interest. White women are voting against their interest. People that make $50,000 or less are voting against their interest. That's your interest, not their interest. They voted for the things that are important to them, just like you voted for the things I assume that are important to you. Oh, you think you're smarter than them. That's what you're trying to say. They don't know what's best for them. You know what's best for them. You can't even get your kids in your city reading. The kids in your city can't read. That's a fast track to prison or dead or whatever else doing something illegal.
They can't do it anymore. And we have to be there to understand that reality and lift them up. I don't know everything that a second Trump presidency will bring to Baltimore. But if he follows through on some of his dark, violent promises, we know that we are looking at challenge.
His dark and violent promises. What are you talking about? What Trump dark and violent promises? And I'm glad that he's saying this. I'm glad that he's saying this because you know what? This morning I got a message. I got a text message from somebody that I was not necessarily surprised to get, but it just made me happy. Not happy for me, not happy in a I told you so way, not happy at all that, just happy for this person. Happy for this person because I do feel that, look, we all base the things that we see based on our own experiences. So that's why we have to give grace to everybody when we can't expect everybody to see things the same time that we see things. We can't expect everybody to, as soon as I'm not messing with religion no more, so you shouldn't either at the same time. People see it differently based on their own experience. But I was happy for this person who sent me a text saying that the liberal Democrats have lost their mind. I was happy. I was truly just happy because I think based on them seeing how the Democrats have responded to this loss, they are realizing like, damn, this party is crazy. The only thing that I actually agreed with the rest of the people in this party on was our hatred for Trump. That's it. Outside of that, I don't agree with anything that these people are saying.
Challenges in the years ahead. But I want Baltimoreans to hear me.
This man is in office with a Democratic president. He's in office with the same woman that he's talking about. She's the current vice president. Why can't your kids read? Do you think you should be reelected? Do I think that if I go to my job and I say, hey, I need another contract. Do you think that I could have gone to the NFL teams and said, hey, Colts, I may not have performed my best or let's take me out of it. Any player, you go to a team, if you didn't perform your best, are you expecting, I deserve this position? This is what happens when people don't understand competition and don't understand that this participation trophy, everything, when you're given something, it robs you of the ability to develop on your own, to learn how to compete, to embrace competing. This is why kids should be competing at a young age. This is why kids should be playing sports, because competition is everything. Competition is everything. But when you have people like this, where there's no accountability, where it's like, I should get reelected. Kids can't read, so what? I'm still the best person to do the job. How are we more upset with Trump than upset with this gentleman right here who's raising kids? This is what's so mind-boggling. He's pretty much giving kids a fast track to prison or dead. When you grow up in a city like Baltimore, I'm just assuming, looking from the outside in, When you grow up in a city like that, you can't read, you can't write, you don't take education seriously, you can't perform at a high level, your confidence is low because you can't perform at a high. What do you think that these kids are going to do? What do you think they're going to turn to? The majority of them don't have two parents in the household. What do you think they're going to do? And we're more upset at Trump. We're more upset at Trump because he's taken away the rights for me to have an abortion. You're more upset about that than this person not being able to do their job. And the 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids that can't read, what do we think's going to happen to them? We're more concerned with being able to abort babies, and we look at that as wellness. We look at that as healthcare. We look at that as our reproductive rights, rather than the kids that are actually here living, who are going to be on a fast track to either land dead or in prison because they can't read, because they were not brought up properly. What do you think ends up happening? If you have a kid that, let's take it back to sports. If you have a kid that you're not coaching right, you're not preparing them, and then you throw them in the game, what do we think's going to happen? Do we think they're going to fail, or do we think they're going to succeed? They're going to fail. And when you fail in life, what ends up happening?
Me clearly, we have a lot to be proud of in our leadership in the state and in the city. And I know all of my colleagues in office will agree when I say that Baltimore will always be a place that welcomes and protects our residents, no matter what they look like, who they love, where they were born, or how they choose to live their lives, as long as they're doing it in a legal manner. That will not change, and I will continue fighting for Baltimoreans no matter what.
Clown. The clown. He's a clown. Let's go to this next video from Joy Reid. I'm gonna be honest. I probably shouldn't even have done this show tonight. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like I'm just not in a headspace to be able to just. I don't want to say sugarcoat things, but I'm just sick and tired of this. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this because it impacts us on so many different levels. We think it's just about politics. It's just about this. This impacts families. This impacts how we see family structure. This impacts all of these things, the things that you appreciate. I'm sorry, I'm going off on tangents. My apologies. Let me get it together. Let's take a look at this this video from Joy Reid.
Ew, it's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.